I gotta say, I wasn't gonna mention this, but last night I had a dream that I got a call and Bruce Springsteen wanted to record one of my songs. And he wanted to come to my city and take me out for coffee and discuss it. Yeah, so I met Bruce downtown and we decided just to have a glass of wine or two, and we took a cruise around the whole city on his motorcycle. Oh yeah. Needless to say, I did not want that dream to end. My mama always used to say, childhood is something you spend the rest of your life trying to get over. Hey everybody, I am so happy to see you today. Thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. I so hope you had a good, calm, safe week. Well, today I am going to do a look back at the movies again. This is a little series I've been doing the last couple years, and you guys seem to really like it. And I love doing it. So this is going to be fun today. This series is, we take a movie that we saw when we were a younger woman, and then we rewatch it, and then we share what we see with our more mature eyes. And there's so many lessons to be learned from these wonderful old classic films. I made a list of your top 10 movies that you have sent in that you wanted me to talk about. And the one that kept coming to the top is Hope Floats. And I have loved that movie forever. And, Hope Floats is a movie about beginnings and endings and the things that really count in life. And if you're over 60, you're experiencing a lot of change, and you have new challenges. Some of us are, we're building a life after divorce. Some of us are rebuilding a life after losing a spouse. We're downsizing. There's a lot of things on our plate right now. And this film, it kind of showcases what it's like to allow your heart to be open again in a lot of different areas. So I think it's perfect timing to talk about Hope Floats. 1998 was a great year for me. I was dating a guy named Bill for a lot of years, and in 1998 we got married. So I was full of romance and happiness, and that was the year that the movie Hope Floats was released, and I loved it. Hope Floats takes you through a woman's life. Her name is Birdie. She lives in Chicago. She loves her husband, and she has a little 8-year-old daughter. And she finds out on a talk show that he's having an affair with her best friend Connie, and that he's in love with Connie. So she's devastated. So she goes home and she packs up her belongings. She takes her daughter. She gets in the car and she drives home to Texas to be with her mama. And the movie takes you through Birdie's journey of rebuilding her life, of being all right with not only her mother, her daughter, perhaps a new lover, but and a new profession, but she had to find out who she was. So the movie just took so many beautiful turns, and the thing is, when I saw this movie in 1998, I didn't really understand so much of it. All I saw was this woman who was healing up after a divorce, and there was this beautiful, handsome cowboy that was going to just come in and whisk her off her feet and everything would be okay. That's what I thought back then. Well, I sure didn't see it that way this time around. The other thing I do remember about this movie, though, there is such a beautiful scene between Birdie and her mother. I don't know if you remember this scene in the movie, but Sandra Bullock she's at the lowest of the low that she's been. And she's had too much to drink. And her mother tries to comfort her, but she's not really getting through. And the mother says to her, mothers love their daughters deeply, even if they show it poorly. And when I heard that in the film, I bonded with this film right away, even back then, because that was so much how I viewed my relationship with my own mother. But that's what I saw. I saw romance and a little bit of intrigue in a mother-daughter relationship. I didn't understand what the author of this film was really trying to say, I think, until I watched it last night. When I love somebody, I love them with all of my heart, and I would never make them feel like they were nothing. I would never make them feel they weren't good enough. You know, last night I stayed up a little too late and I watched the movie Hope Floats. And I'm so glad I did. I forgot how much I loved this movie, but it was a completely different movie. I didn't feel the message of the movie at all was, you know, some handsome cowboy was going to come in and save you. I saw Birdie as a woman who was absolutely shattered from her divorce, and she had to rebuild everything in her life from scratch. She had to learn how to get out of bed and not cry, and she had to repair her relationship with her daughter, her mother. She had to get a job. She had to be able to open up her heart enough to let somebody else in, to love again. That's what I saw. I saw a woman hitting rock bottom and having to get up again. And Birdie in the film, she knew that no handsome cowboy was going to fix her. She knew it had to come from within her. She wanted to walk down the street and be audacious again. She wanted to have that confidence, and by the end of the film, she does. And she did it on her own. And you know, the beautiful thing and the emotional thing for me was watching Birdie struggle with letting somebody in her life. And I related to that so much. I mean, I was dating somebody a year and a half ago, and we had dated for quite a while. And I adored him. And I told you about him, you know, I told you that I broke up with him because I didn't feel that I could love him. But now I'm not so sure. Not a day goes by where I don't check my phone to see if he hasn't sent me a text. Knowing all the while that he has no interest in talking to me now, I'm quite sure. But what I realize is I had to rebuild my life after my divorce. I was so scared. And I had to heal up, and I had to find my way myself. Nobody was gonna make it any better but me. But But to make sure I was safe, I built these walls up around me. I didn't realize how strong I built them and how high. And I realize now those walls that gave me so much freedom to heal became almost like a prison. Just too afraid to open up my heart, too afraid to love again. I mean, I realize at this age I'm not looking for that great romance. I'm not looking for marriage. I understand all that. But still, I want to be able to open up my heart and love someone. But I didn't realize I was so walled off. Out of necessity, perhaps. But watching that movie gave me such inspiration that this is something I need to work on. I need to learn how to trust. I need to learn how to love all over again. Because I'm a new woman. And I've had to learn a lot of new things the last few years. So there's a beautiful saying at the end of the movie. Birdie is doing I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but there Birdie is, and she's handling her life so beautifully. And her little daughter is thriving, and handsome cowboy is there. And she talks about what her mama used to say. That childhood is something we spend the rest of our lives trying to get over. But sometimes beginnings are scary and endings are almost always sad. But perhaps it's the middle that counts the very most. And if you just give it time, hope floats up. And I believe that with all my heart. Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I loved every second of it. So, if you get time down below, could you suggest another movie for us to chat about? I write down all your suggestions and I promise I'll get to them. But please have yourself a wonderful brand new week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right. It's a deal. We'll be here. Look at that. See? Look at that. Hey, I was just doing some work for the census. I thought I'd ask you a few questions. I don't know. So how many in your household? Do you shop at Walmart? Okay. Guess not. Bye. I looked up at the sky today and I saw buds on the trees, and I was so filled with hope. Sometimes my body doesn't always do what I want it to do. Sometimes my legs always aren't as steady as they should be. And I miss my friends that have passed away. But every day, I want to pay my life forward, and not just for them, but for me. It's never too late to do great things. Hope does float up. You just have to have your heart open to it.